Hello and welcome to another edition of the Gadget Show. My name is Usman, and I, alongside our resident gadget expert, will be bringing you all of what's hot and what's not in the world of technology. First of all, I'd like to welcome our gadget expert to the show, Raman. Hello, how are you?
Hi Usman, I'm good, thank you, as usual.
You've got something nice for us lined up. Once again, you've pulled out your magic.
Yes, I've tried to, and I think some of our audiences and viewers should be extremely happy. This product, we'll not go into details right now, but something which has got launched on the 16th of March. We're going to be doing a live review of that on the Gadget Show today.
So once again, we have a live demo of one of the latest pieces of technology that's out on the market at the moment. But before we go to the live demo, as always, we give you a roundup of what's been going on in the week in terms of news. So Raman, fill us in what's been going on in the world of technology.
Well, you hear a lot of things happening that, you know, the economies are recovering and slowly and gradually we are going back to growth happening, things like that. But when you suddenly read this news again that, you know, Best Buy, the biggest retailer in the world, when you look at electronic retailing, and the equivalent of that we have in Europe is, say, DSGI Group. If you look at that, Best Buy is closing 50 stores in the US. Now, there is on one side, it is a bit confusing. On one side, you look at, you know, when they're saying the US economy is improving, jobs are, the jobs creation is happening, it's back on the track, and now you suddenly find out that, you know, a big retailer like them, there are a couple of them in the US, but when you look at technology, because we are talking about Gadget Show, when you look at Best Buy, you know, that's one name which everybody's heard. And they are closing 50 stores in the US and obviously looking at opening. That's the bad part of it, and the good part of it is they're looking at opening exclusive mobile stores, so which kind of puts a dent on one side, saying that okay, they're closing huge retail outlets, or, you know, hyper retail outlets as we call them, and you go under one roof, you find lots and lots of gadgets and electronics. But they will be looking at opening smaller stores, and these smaller stores will be focused on mobile phones, which goes to show that, you know, there's a shift happening from PC side. We are seeing a shift towards mobile side. So, you know, from a desktop, laptop kind of a computer, we're moving to a handheld computer, which is, somebody's aptly put it across as it's a handheld computer, with that being so powerful that you can literally do everything on it. So they are looking at opening 50 new stores, and that is going to be beginning in 2013 and in the US. And obviously Best Buy opened a few stores in the UK as well, but because of obviously recession, and I think they're not getting their share of the pie, they closed down all these 8 stores which were opened last year or in a year or two. So that was the big piece of news, as far as, you know, when you look at a big name which controls 30% of distribution of mobile phones in the US, probably launches every new gadget which comes to the market from all the major brands, looking at closing 50 stores. So that's big news.
That is big news indeed. What do you think is it purely because of the shift, like you're talking about, going to mobiles, or are people buying their electronics from other sources, like, for example, going on the internet, going on eBay, things like that? Do you think that's got anything to do with it?
I think that's absolutely right. You find people now looking at, you know, they're looking to basically find deals, and internet is all pervasive. So everybody is looking at the internet to find good options, good prices and offers. And that's one of the reasons. And the other thing is, obviously, as a big retail chain, they're looking at, you know, trimming costs. And they're looking at bringing savings of up to about $800 million or things like that, as they say in their press release. So it's a combination of both. I think it's looking at changing the business model. People are becoming more internet savvy. They're shopping online, and online channel is growing. And price differentiation is not the only criteria wherein consumers will go into a retail store now. They will probably go search, discover, and look at the products, but they will probably buy after doing a quick research on the internet where they can find the cheapest products. So a multiple number of reasons.
Yeah, makes sense. Probably something that another, you know, big retailers outside of the US are going to have to look into as well.
Well, I would say that is true for, you know, UK as well, or any other country for that sake. With the internet growing, if you look at China, for example, 700 million users, and most of them would shop online, given the opportunity that they could buy products online. But, you know, first time when you buy, it's a taster. So you go across, you buy a television online, you know, in a store. But the next time when you buy, you are kind of, you know the technology, you know these things, and then what you do is you experiment. And obviously, if you find a price which is cheaper and it gives you the same quality, same product, same brand, why not? save
Why
a
not?
few.
Why not, indeed.
Save a few bucks.
Right. What next? What's next?
Next, what we are looking at is obviously all of us use mobile phones. Leading on to this news, news which is that we pay a lot of roaming charges. So if you're traveling abroad, you pay a lot of roaming charges. And there has been this discussion which has been going on in the European Parliament that in terms when they look at the European Union, there are some parts of it work very well, but obviously when you look at telecommunication, a lot of users when they travel abroad, business users when they travel abroad, they pay a lot of charges on data, download of data, and obviously roaming and texting. So what they are looking at now doing is the bill which will come across into effect next year from June onwards will force all the telecommunication companies, all the operators to bring down costs significantly. And that to a certain extent, currently what consumers pay, they pay about 24 pence per minute. And if you're downloading a megabyte of data, you're paying about 59 pence per megabyte.
Is that what it's going to go down to?
That is what
it's going to go down to. So
it's going to become significantly cheaper currently. And there have been stories that we've read and obviously heard that people have traveled abroad and they've taken their tablets, and you have a lot of these devices today which consume a lot of data, and you're in a hotel, but obviously what you're looking at doing is catching up, calling, and they found out that they paid £1,000 or hundreds and thousands of pounds in telephone bills for roaming.
Wow.
And this is something that they're going to also put into practice, that the moment when you're abroad, you'll be able to choose an operator, search and choose a cheap operator which will be economical for you to make calls or download data, and also a facility which they are proposing as of now, which will say, okay, if your bill crosses 50 euros, you will get a text message that your bill, because of roaming or data or email or texting, has gone over 50 euros.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, one of the first things I normally do when I'm going abroad is I always check my operator, give them a call, see if they have any offers. Certain times when I go to Spain, my particular operator has a package bundle where you can pay, £5 for X amount of megabytes.
That's correct, yes.
So it's always a good thing to do. Obviously, holiday season's coming up. If you are traveling abroad, whether it's especially in Europe now, you should be getting a good deal on if you're calling back to the UK, or whether you're sending text messages back to the UK. But always check with your operator, give them a call, find out what you can get as an extra. If you are going to be using data quite a lot, because even when I'm away, I like to have access to my emails and things like that. I get a bundle, get a package, so I know at least that within that limit I'm saving some money.
That's correct, and there are certain apps available if you're using a smartphone wherein you can buy data when you're traveling abroad through your operators. So try and bundle you some packages, but obviously there are loopholes wherein they are exploiting the consumer, and obviously you're paying much more than what you would pay in other countries or outside the European Union. So obviously this is a good step, and I think a step in the right direction, wherein if we are a part of a common union, then obviously these things need to come into place to get us some significant, I would say, leverage as far as money is concerned, keeping in mind money is always tight when you're traveling abroad. The last bit of news that I've obviously brought in was something that I've stumbled on, and to be honest, I wasn't aware that, but I've looked at some part of that coverage on other channels. There's a company called Raspberry Pi, and it's a charity organization, and obviously started off in the UK a couple of years back, and they've introduced something which is, I would say, a computer, which is a $25 or $25 option 1 and a $35 option 2 computer, and it works on Linux. But once booted up, that device can be connected to a television, to a projector, to a normal TFT screen, and allows you to do most of the functions. And one of the taglines, obviously on the website, it says it's basically based on the ARM processor. So it comes with Linux box, and it says take a bite. So obviously the company is a charity, it's a registered charity, but that initiative, which started probably way back in 2005, 2006, is now coming to fruition in the sense that they are now commercially going to sell this, and the 3 or 4 suppliers which have got together will be then making this technology available. And one of the reasons why this project came along was that these 3 people initially, when they formed the company, they looked at one statistics that in the UK, the GCSE scores on mathematics, people doing or taking up computers or these kind of subjects was falling, drastically falling. And it's a way wherein they started off as an experiment to kind of promote computing, the use of maths, knowledge about maths. So we could have more and more kids taking up these subjects, and obviously we become, we train the next generation to be equipped to, learn computer and programming languages. Started off as a project like that, but it's basically called the credit card size computer, and it's why it's in the news currently is because they were looking at shipping the first 2,000 orders, but in the last moment what they've said is that there needs to be a conformance with the European rules, and that is something which is is a minor glitch, but obviously they will ship, and there are first, I think, 2,000 odd customers which should be receiving this, and they've ordered this because what they want the kids to do. We've got an image of that, and obviously we'll show it on the screen. If you pull up that image, it's a very small pocket credit card size, and when you say credit card size, it is credit card size. And they put the silicon together, everything in terms of a small interface, when you can attach a keyboard, a display unit, and a power, and then it becomes a full-fledged computer. It's based on an ARM processor. That means most of the mobile phones today are on ARM processors. So it is powerful enough and also cost-effective enough for this project to take off, because they are going to sell or commercially sell this or make this available in the market for about $25 and $35. So a great project, which will mean that every child in the world will have some sort of an access to a PC. And we've seen a lot of these initiatives come to light in the last couple of years. One was from Intel. The other is supported by AMD, where they're saying it's a $100 laptop or a $10 PC. Yeah. But this is something which is indigenous. It is coming across from UK, and something that we should be very proud of, because of a simple fact. At $25, you're getting a full-fledged credit card size computer, connects to any interface, and opens opens tremendous computing capabilities for young generation to do experimentation with.
So was that about 18, 19 pounds?
It's about it's something like that.
18, about 18, 19 pounds for a computer. Wow, it's amazing.
Absolutely. Company is called Raspberry Pi, and if you want more details, obviously it's a very basic website that they have, but they've given a lot of these questions that you have, answer to a lot of these questions that you have in your mind in their FAQ section. And I think, if I remember correctly, the website is www.raspberrypi.org, and it's a registered charity. So obviously they are doing this for the better good of children, so that they take up mathematics. Yeah. And look at computing skills.
Something we should definitely be supporting. Obviously, if you want more information, we will be putting it up on our website, so you can check it out later on. Absolutely. Or you can watch back the show online, because we have our own YouTube channel. So if you do miss anything, for example, if there's something that we've covered that you remembered at the time, you may go away and think, oh, I wonder I can't remember what they were talking about. You can go in, just log into our channel, just search for it. It'll just come up as DM Digital Gadget Show. You can find it on YouTube. All the past episodes are loaded on there, so you can watch back. If there's anything you've missed or any good information that you wanted at the time, you can always go back at your leisure.
Absolutely.
Is it time for the big demo?
No, I don't think so. We're sweating.
You're sweating?
We're sweating, yes. It's definitely time, yes.
It's time for the main demo. So what is it? What can you reveal? What is the live demo for today?
Well, let me take a couple of seconds and explain what we are looking at doing. If you understand Apple, so I think that gives away a bit of a surprise that it is from Apple as a company. But when you look at it, it's been in the news again last week, and we've seen Tim Cook visiting China, getting a grand welcome, meeting the premier, going to some of the factories that they manufacture in, meeting some of the employees, looking at further investment. They've always been known to bring out products across the year, 2 or 3 times a year. And the recent introduction talked about the talked about the iPad, the new iPad, and also about Apple TV. So we're looking at doing a review of the new Apple TV, which has been launched, and that has become commercially available from the 16th. Now, the way I put it is, what is Apple TV? Apple TV is essentially a digital receiver which connects to the iTunes or the iUniverse, which Apple has created on iCloud, and then it gives you access to a lot of different functions, features, and they are summarized neatly as, if you have this at home, you can, obviously, if you have other devices from Apple, things like the iPad, iPhone, iPod, and also the Apple TV and an iMac or things like that, you can then transfer or see things like photos, music, movies, and anything which is within a streaming universe like the YouTube videos on any device. And there is one application which makes it possible, which is coming along with that, which is called AirPlay. So what it does is, if you're watching something on the iPad and you want to see it on a big television, all you do is, if your Apple TV is connected with your television, you just choose the device in terms of the source and you switch it on to your TV, and straight away it goes onto your TV. And then it gives you usual functions of watching, I would say, a lot of things which are in the iTunes ecosystem. So download music, which can be stored on iCloud. You download movies, which you can rent, buy. So the movies that you buy then go onto your iCloud.
Yeah.
And obviously the movie that you rent, the interesting concept is, if you rent a movie and you have multiple devices, and if you have Apple TV at home, what you can do is you can watch half of the movie on the TV. If you're traveling, you can take the movie along on your phone or watch it on the iPad. So that kind of flexibility is built in through the iTunes ecosystem on the new product, which is Apple TV. What's new, and before we show you a demo, what's new, there are a couple of features which have come on. And one of the features is that the new Apple TV supports full high definition, which is 1080p. That was one of the biggest, obviously things which make it give it a difference, is from the older version that you had an HD television and you had iTunes, which had HD normal content, but obviously when you were streaming through the Apple TV, you were getting low resolution. So now with the new Apple TV, you can typically get high definition content. Some of the other things which have been added on, which are also available to old Apple TV viewers, if you have the older version, through the software upgrade, because of the iOS software upgrade. They've added Netflix to it. They've added a couple of other sites which give you subscription-based services, and those services then open up a plethora of things that you can watch on big screen. And in layman terms, if I have to explain, अगर मैं बहुत ही simple language में explain करूँ, ये क्या है? It's called a TV. I think to a certain extent, when you say Apple TV, the reason why they say is TV is because it drives content. So you get movies, music, pictures, loads of other things coming through this. But in general, if some of us have also seen a device called a network storage server, which is available from different other companies like HP and Lacey and a couple of other brands in the market, or you have I would say hard drives, storage hard drives, which have wireless connectivity and a network interface connection, and then have an interface which allow you to transfer data between your various devices. That is made possible through sharing, data sharing. So what the Apple TV does, and some of the other parallel devices also do, is they create a sharing hub through that device, which allows you to transfer data or view data onto other devices. So in effect, it is a wireless, I would say wireless receiver, which works through your home network and then allows you to create a seamless connectivity between your iDevices. So whether you're looking at iPod, iPad, iPhone, and your TV, it creates a connectivity or a bridge between all these devices, allows you to transfer or watch data across these devices, and opens up an ecosystem which is the iTunes ecosystem. So I would say the your store through which you can watch movies, music, loads of other things that you can do. And that is what it simplifies with a very small device called the Apple TV.
Right. I think it's time to show everyone what it's all about.
Yeah, definite. Before we go on to the demo, so what we've done is we've opened the box. After opening the box, we've connected it's a very simple installation for this particular product when you look at.
We're going to quickly go through that in a little while. We've got a short commercial break that we need to take, but we'll be back with a live demo of Apple TV. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Gadget Show, where we are going to give you a live demonstration of a piece of technology that was released only a few days ago. This is Apple TV.
That is correct. Yes, a digital media receiver, in short, introduced by Apple. And this is, I think, the new version of the Apple TV that we're going to review, which supports 1080p resolution.
Basically, you take it out of the box, plug one end into your TV, plug the other end into the socket, connect to your Wi-Fi, and away you go.
That is correct. That is the simplest of installation that you can do with any device that I've ever come across. Power cable and the HDMI cord going into your TV. That's it. And then you get hold of something which comes in the box, which I put in my pocket, which is a remote. That's it. And you're up and running.
Right. So up and running then.
Let's see what we
need to do. It's currently on the screensaver mode or standby mode or whatever you want to call it. We were trying it out a little bit before. So
I'll press the menu button. We go back to the opening screen, and that is what you get to see when you launch the Apple TV or you switch it on. So basically, it gives you a few widgets on the screen, as you can see, and then these widgets you can select from the Apple TV remote, and then you can straight away go on. Now, we are as of now connected to the wireless internet on this, and when you plug it onto a TV, you get this interface. We have not enabled home sharing because obviously in the studio we are not looking at connecting this with computers. Otherwise, if you have a Windows-based PC or a Mac OS-based computer, you can enable sharing of your photos, of your music and movies that can be streamed live to a big television like this, obviously through the Apple TV. So what I'm going to do is very simple function. It comes with a very simple interface on the remote, a plus kind of an interface. So up and down, left and right, in the center select a menu and obviously play and pause. So we're going to go to the trailer section and then just click select. And then you get this particular screen, which is obviously showing you a lot of trailers. We click on one of them, and obviously, as you can see, this is a trailer for the movie Wrath of the Titans, and we press play, and you will straight away see this being streamed wirelessly to the iTunes ecosystem coming onto your TV.
So it really is as simple as that. This particular one, I think, is a HD stream, as you can tell from the quality, the picture, the sound.
Excuse me. Pause it for a while. As you can see from the quality, this is HD, and you can straight away stream this if you're wanting to rent or buy movies. Obviously, go back. If you go back, this is what the trailer section was. And obviously, what you can do is you can go to the movie selection or the TV show selection, and obviously click on this, choose a movie, and you can rent it straight away or buy it straight away.
It really is as simple as that. So if you are someone who's already downloaded lots of films on your iPad or on your iTunes system already, you don't have to buy them again. You don't have to do anything again. It works on your existing iTunes system. जो आपने उस पे पहले का download किया हुआ है, if you filled it with music, if you filled it with pictures, if you filled it with video, you can access those videos rather than having to watch it on a laptop or on your iPad or your iPhone. You can watch it on the big screen, which is fantastic.
That's
for all the latest films. For example, if you've got your friends around, you can't really all gather around an